Hi
Hi.
Shanta, how are you? Am I clear?
Yes, yes, you are loud and clear. What about me? Am I audible?
Absolutely loud and clear.
Okay. So, how are you doing? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm doing fabulous. How about you?
Oh, yes, I'm just doing just okay. How has your day been so far?
The day has been actually very interesting.
Oh,
Uh, yeah. So right now my husband he's traveling, so I am dropping my son to the school and picking him up. Usually, otherwise we split that responsibility. So every day I'm picking him up, and at the end of the day, the teacher shares what all is he doing. So today he's said a few things, and he responded and actively participated in an activity where he was that's not what he was doing till last week. So that was very exciting for me, um, and that really put a cherry on the day.
mhm. Yes. So, before we go further, I want you to introduce yourself to the viewers.
Sure. Hi everyone. I'm Namita. I am co-founder and chief learning officer of Sparky. I come with an experience of over 15 years in education. Uh, what that uh, what that means is I started off as a teacher back in 2009 with Teach for India, and where I was teaching, in government school, and that's where my journey of being an educator started. After that, I taught in the U.S. And when I came back from the US in 2016, I joined one of the India's largest B2B edtech companies called Lead School, where I was heading their curriculum. And what I did over there was design their flagship English product, which is popularly known as ELGA, English Language and General Awareness. So that's that is where my interest in English started, and I worked there for close to 5 years, and then along with Anushri Kaustubh Jyotika, we started off Spark Studio, and from designing life class experiences to designing learning experiences for our users who come on Sparky, our AI English learning app. Uh, that is my role. That's what I do.
Okay, that's interesting. So just one question from your introduction. Why did you leave US and come back to India? Because even I lived in Australia for around 8 or 9 years, but then we moved back. So people keep asking me this question often. I want to know why you left the US and came back to India.
That was always part of the plan. That both my husband and I, we were very clear that we want to gain some experience internationally
Mm.
and want to come back to India. Like that was always part of the plan. So we went in 2014 and came back in 2016 after gaining a couple of years of experience. And for me, I think teaching in the US, I was after completing 1 year of teaching there, I was promoted to a content team lead position.
Mhm.
What meant was creating content for not just my classroom but for my district. So in US, there's a district concept. So I
Oh,
think that's where the starting of creating content, like how you can use content at scale and how you can scale it, is what I learned in the US. And I was able to apply that skill set
mm.
at Lead as well. And of course, learn a lot more.
Mm.
So coming back to India was always part of the plan because both my husband and I, we are very much rooted in India.
Oh, that's nice to know because you did not allow the luxuries of US kind of lure you away or keep you away from India. That's good to know. Yeah, since we are talking about English and English learning, I want to ask you, how adults learn is how different is how adults learn versus how children learn. Can children learn faster? Because when people say you have been learning since childhood, that's why you're so fluent. So can adults start at certain age and still become fluent without, like, after becoming an adult? So what is your opinion?
Sure. Absolutely. I think everyone with the intention to learn can learn at any age. So age is not the factor.
Mhm.
However, the pace at which or how quickly you can grasp something depends also on the amount of time you're spending on it. So what happens with children is, because there is a structured learning that happens for 8 to 9 hours for them, and especially the children who go to an English medium school.
Mm.
So for them, what happens is that there is 8 to 9 hours of structured learning that's happening in a language which is the medium of communication throughout the day. So the exposure and the environment that they are in is that language. So definitely, because of excessive exposure and a continuous practice, they tend to grasp the language faster
Right.
compared to other adults or anyone else. They
Mm.
would need to work a little bit more. So it is about ensuring that how much time you're giving and how quickly you're grasping. But
Correct.
ability to learn at every age is possible.
And also, when we are talking about medium of learning, so English medium students have an edge over the people who have studied in vernacular medium because they kind of have a good backbone. They learn from the basics, and yeah, does it matter honestly studying in English medium or studying in a vernacular medium school? Are they able to learn as effectively and become fluent in English?
I would say definitely there is. Because again, it comes to the exposure, like our environment for us to pick up a language.
Okay.
The exposure matters a lot. So if you see, English medium students definitely have that edge over the vernacular medium. Similarly, the vernacular medium children, they have that edge over the English medium children on other languages because of the exposure that they have in other languages. So
Hmm.
if we are able to supplement that exposure even for vernacular medium, that, you know, just after school, if they can get some exposure which gives them access to English language, or they can find someone to talk to in English or learn English from, I think would definitely benefit the children and would reduce the gap that exists. But
Hmm.
definitely the advantage is only because of the fact that when you go to an English medium school, the medium of everything that you learn there is
Yeah.
English. That is the key difference.
Hmm. Right. Right. Nice. And also bringing Sparky into picture. I have known this app, and my daughter also uses it because sometimes when
Oh,
she needs
that's
screen
wonderful.
time, yeah, when she needs screen time, so she wants the phone, but then she'll tell me that I want to play a game. I'll choose Sparky and I'll play with it because I'm always yes for Sparky if she wants to learn something from it because it's very entertaining. It gives you pictures and it asks you to frame a word for it. It gives you blanks and you have to frame the word. Then also she does things like fill in the blanks of prepositions or something of that sort. If she's not getting the answer, she'll call me for it. So let's talk a bit about Sparky. So for people who are watching this video
Sure.
for the first time, please introduce Sparky and show us a small demo of it.
Sure. So Sparky is a generative AI voice first
Mm.
conversational chat learning buddy for everyone. So I just want to call it out that it is not just for kids, it's for everyone. And what I mean by voice first conversation, these can sound like very big words. What it means is it will speak to you and it will encourage you to speak back to it. So one of the things that we found as a gap that exists is that, in school, if I look at the context of school, so in school there are so many children in a classroom, so it
Mm.
becomes very difficult to get enough speaking practice. No
Correct.
matter how much the teacher tries, still it is very difficult for ensuring that every child speaks.
Mm.
Same is the case, and now imagine it in a college setting. Now imagine it in a workplace.
Mm.
It becomes even sparser and sparser that you get less and less speaking or learning opportunities. But there is more demand from you, that like if you go to college, there is more demand for you to quickly understand things.
Mm.
However, you are still struggling with that language. So I think having that speaking partner or that practice partner with you is very important.
Mm.
And that partner is able to talk to you on topics that are relatable to you. Like that's something that, I want to talk about, say, rainbows today, or I want to talk about a science topic I learned in school today,
Mm.
or I want to just generally talk about how my day was today.
Yes.
Or for an adult, like how I have an interview tomorrow, how do I prepare for it? How do I keep practicing on it? Or I'm just graduating from college and I don't know what to do next, seeking that career advice. So there are so many ways in which Sparky can be used for different learners, and that is the key reason for our design. That how do we ensure that anyone, irrespective of their age, when they interact with Sparky, they are able to practice their English, ask their questions, learn something, so that it's not just solving one purpose, but it is ensuring that overall conversation that you're having with Sparky is enriching, and it is giving you some new information that you did not know before this. And let's see a quick demo of the same, that how you can ask a question to Sparky, and then Sparky will take away the load of flowing, getting that conversation into a flow, and it will help you get into a flow in that conversation. I think this demo is going to give you that indication, like how you can talk to Sparky on different topics.
Okay, let's watch it then.
Hey, Rima. You can talk to me or ask me questions about any topic. What would you like to talk about today?
Hi Sparky, I need help with my English. So I will say some sentences. If you could tell me whether they are correct, or if they are incorrect, can you tell me the correct answer?
Sure, Rima. I'd be happy to help you with your English sentences. Go ahead and say the sentences, and I'll let you know if they're correct or if there's a mistake. Let's start.
I didn't knew that my exam was today.
Did you mean to say I didn't know that my exam was today? In this sentence, knew should be replaced with no.
Its voice. If I am feeling low on some day and I was not feeling that good, and I was talking to Sparky and it asked me, how's your day going? So I said, it's boring. I don't like today. So it changed its tone and the way it talks. So, oh, sorry to hear that. What happened? So I like that feature. And sometimes when you're happy and excited, it
Yeah.
gives voice and the sounds. Particularly children get so much encouragement because it gives that small gifs where they're like dancing or something. So they find it really interactive.
Right. Actually, it's not just the kids. We have heard even many of the adults also really like those GIFs, because WhatsApp is all about GIFs and memes. So they really relate to that content. And
Yes.
you're right about emotions. So
Mhm.
because if you hear Sparky's voice, it doesn't sound robotic. It sounds
Correct.
like you're actually talking to someone.
Yes.
And one of the reasons why we chose Fox as the character is because Fox has hands.
Mm.
Um, and it's clever, it's witty, it's knowledgeable, like that's the
Mm.
characteristic that we associate with Fox. And I think because of the way it looks,
Mm.
if we could give emotions to it, we could give gestures to it. It could jump up and down. So we felt that every age group can connect with it because of the emotions that it shows, depending upon the different age. So with kids, it will be more excited.
Mm.
With adults, it's giving a more mature response accordingly.
Exactly. Yes. And also depending on your levels of English. If you are an advanced speaker,
Absolutely.
it will use the same kind of language with you. If you're a beginner, it uses very simple
Absolutely.
English.
Absolutely. So generative AI helps us do that. It adapts to the way the user, or the
Mm.
way the user is, the level of the user. It also
Mm.
keeps in the context of where the user is coming from.
Right.
So that is also something that we have kept in mind, so that the responses are not just age appropriate, but also have understanding of like where the user is coming from, and using those examples so that the language becomes more relatable to them, that they can connect with it.
I would say, it's a good job what you guys have done with Sparky. So I just one last question, right? And when it comes to children, because you have dealt with the making of curriculum for children and teaching children as well. So now, at what age should we start talking to children in English? That's my first question. Second is, okay, yeah, children are going to English medium schools, but the kind of English they speak at school is different. Even my children go to school, a local school, which is of course English medium, but the kind of English they talk is very different compared to the professional English that we are talking
Can
now.
you give me an example when you say very different?
Um, maybe in terms of accent and I heard you. So these kind of grammar things. So that was my question. How should we start teaching English to children, even if they are not interested, because they are more comfortable in our native language? If they're not interested, how to teach them English, and at what age should we start talking to them in English at home?
Got it. So Shanta, I think language is best. We learn it best when we are exposed to it. So the more you hear it around you, the more you see it around you, the more you realize that this is part of my day-to-day life. Because then only you feel the need for it. Otherwise, the kids who are young, they don't feel the need for it, because they can use gestures, actions,
Correct.
emotions. There's so many different ways of communication. But if we want to add words to their communication, we need to build a need for it. So, for example, by introducing daily activities, like brush your teeth, comb your hair, wear your dress, you can say the same things in vernacular language also. But using more English examples, because if that's what you want to build in kids, then building that daily vocabulary is very important, because then only they will realize, oh, I need to use it because I'm doing this on daily basis. And then slowly, as they start realizing that, oh, this is a language which I need to communicate, because the need needs to come from the learner, that I need this language to communicate. It will become part of their thought process, that I'm going to brush, now I will change my clothes, now I will go to school, now I need to study, I need to go play. So, and slowly the vocabulary keeps expanding. So the best way is to give them that environment at home is to start really small by using vocabulary in their daily language, daily activities. And then rest, the school is already doing their part by introducing them to unknown text, something which is not necessarily related to them. So that's the part school is doing, but these are the easy, simple steps that any household can take for their children if they want them to start speaking in English today.
Right, nice. And also, you've done so much in life, right? You have gained a lot of experience. You've worked across the country and even in the US. So, what does it take to become successful in life? Because you're still at it, you are trying to push your limits, you're trying to work harder. So, what does it take to become successful in life?
Okay, I think there's still so much more to do, Shanta. I think there are two things that really have guided me or got me where I am today. I think one is um, operating with very high levels of ownership. Like if there is something that needs to be done, I need to do it. So what that means is that sometimes I don't know how to do something, but that is okay. You know, taking that one first step is very important. And then, you will make mistakes on the way, but it's okay. But it is important to take that first step and to actually do something about it, to start thinking about it and not worrying about that I'm going to make a mistake. So that is one thing that has really helped me in who I am today. The second is, I think, just I would take it back to my parents. I think they really nudged me, and not just me, my siblings as well, like really nudged and pushed us that school alone, or where you're an educational institute alone cannot make you successful. Like just going there and doing whatever is imparted to you is not going to make you successful. You will have to figure out, or you will have to think about what more you need, or think about places where that make you uncomfortable. So for example, they used to really push us to participate in competitions, participate in challenges when we were young, that were outside of school, because they were like "Ki, when you are in school, you are in a very comfortable environment. When you go to college, you're again a comfortable environment. Suddenly after college, the world will be an unknown place. So how do you respond or operate in those unknown settings is very, very important. So I think that exposure really helped, and that is something that I would urge to every learner, that do things that are extremely uncomfortable. Things that you don't know, or you feel that, okay, you know what, how can I do this? Or if there is any challenge in college, or if there is any competition in school, or if there is anything, any project that is coming at your workplace, which you feel is something that excites you, but you are not sure about how to go about it, it's okay. Just roll up your sleeves, take that initiative, and go for it. What is the worst that will happen? You may not do well in it, but it's okay. It will be a learning experience. So I think these two things really helped me becoming who I am today, and made me confident.
That's right. Even I can relate with that aspect with my parents as well, especially my dad. He would always put me in, if the phone rang, it used to be a landline at that time. So he knew that some of his colleagues were calling, but he would be there and he would ask us to pick it because he knew we would be uncomfortable talking to them. They pick up, talk, greet them well, tell them things. So I can totally relate. He's the reason that I
Yeah.
learned English well. So that is really nice. Okay, so we come to the end of the session. Is there something you want to, any piece of advice for the learners? Anything?
Sure. I think if the learners today, if you want to really start speaking an English language, um, I think there are two very easy, simple things that you can do today itself. One is start thinking about your daily activity, daily routine, and think about where you can add English to it. The second bit I would say is find a speaking partner, because there is nothing like having a speaking partner. So it could be someone who you look up to, somebody who's knowledgeable enough and can guide you, can encourage you, can mentor you. So finding that speaking partner is also very important. If you're able to do these two things today, I can guarantee that you can start speaking in English today.
Wow, that's nice. Good advice for the learners. So, okay, then it was wonderful talking to you. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, you have a good
Thank you,
day.
Shanta, for inviting me.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye.